document also include a structured way.
They were the committees that were to help Parliament safely navigate through the stormy waters occasioned by the disagreement that followed President Mwai Kibaki's nomination of 4 constitutional office holders. The committees were to wind up their work and table their recommendations Thursday afternoon, but this was not to be after the committees asked for more time. The committees had been working round the clock listening to submissions from various parties to the nominations dispute and also deliberate on their own, but later considered that there was still more ground to be covered.
Honorable members,
Speaker Kenneth Marende allowed them to extend their work until Tuesday next week. Earlier, the Judicial Service Commission in its presentation told the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs that it ought to be involved in the process that will see Kenya get a new Chief Justice and other key constitutional office holders. Members of the JSC told the Ababu Namwamba-led team that the newly formed commission should not have been left out in the recent nominations of the constitutional office holders.
Informed by Article 160, especially the CJ, we need to retain the independence of the judiciary. And we cannot have an independent judiciary if the head of that judiciary does not feel independent.
In recognition of the fact that in the transitional period there are 2 principals, they therefore need to consult.
The JSC says its involvement in the nominations process is crucial, and the body would still have protested even if the 2 principals concurred and went on with the nominations while excluding other stakeholders. Justice Minister Mutula Kilonzo appeared before the Finance Committee and took issue with the manner in which the controversy over the 4 nominations has been handled so far.
The issue you are dealing with, Mr. Chairman, I'm afraid, is so divisive because you are starting from the top, coming down, and you are left with people who actually are supporters of the principles, appearing to be the ones solving a problem for the principles, yet it ought to have been the other way around.
But even as the parliamentary committees go on with their work, lobbying continues behind the scenes, with the reports that the PNU wing of the Grand Coalition is keen to marshal the required numbers to ensure the nominations get the required backing in the August House. Western Kenya MPs led by Minister Soita Shitanda and Sirisi MP Moses Wetangula met President Mwai Kibaki at his Harambee House office in the morning. A delegation of MPs from the coast also paid the president a courtesy call. Sources intimate that the move by West Kenya MPs is seen as one to counter that of MPs from the region allied to ODM Deputy Leader Musalia Mudavadi, who are opposed to the nominations. Abdi Osman, Citizen Live at 9.